Hey guys, I have been busy playing the new season and taking notes and video clips for upcoming guides. Now I have come to a point where I'm tied with the other two guys in second place. But the last objective is very grindy. And you have to be super lucky, like this guy. So I wanna give you an overview of the season first and let you know if the new rewards are worth the grind before I continue my grind. Okay, let's have a look at the game compendium. First, we get some great quality of life improvements to the game. Now we can finally skip the campaign if we have a character that has finished the main campaign, the expansion and the side content. You will start at level 1 and have a choice of a maxed out radical or Puritan morality. You will also have all the subsectors unlocked from the start. So if you want, you can grind early for a specific reward. Also, every NPC will be unlocked from the beginning, including the autos shop. So if you want, you can get Architect and Relic items early on. Also blueprints, psalm codes and shards. You can play random missions from the beginning, but the Void Crusade will be still unlocked at level 35. Here you find some more information about the campaign skip, their requirements and so on. The other great feature we got is the favorite system. You can mark your items with a star now to set it as a favorite. This way they cannot be sold in the sell all function, and you can also not sell them individually. You can also not mass salvage them, but you can still single salvage them, so take attention. You can also sort those favorite items. If you mark it and then sort here, they will always show at the top. So now you can sort the rest of your items and they still stay at the top, so they are very easy to find. Let's have a look at the seasonal mechanics now. The new stuff we got are maybe the most unique and complex seasonal mechanics we had so far. It's a bit overwhelming at the start, so let me try to explain most of it. Let's start with the most complex one, the Escalating Enchantments. We get those colors over our suppression bar. Each color is a different enchant that gets applied to our character. The two blue ones are primary enchants, the green one is a secondary enchant, the yellow one is a relic enchant, the red one, Architect relic, and the last one, morality. When you go through the missions and kill enemies, each color gets activated, starting with the dark blue and ending at morality. And after that, it starts over again. Each activation will roll a random enchant. You will have that enchant on your character until the next activation of the same color. It's a really cool mechanic, but you might think it's so random, how to make a build around that. That's where the next items come into play. The enchantment clamps. There are only 3, so you can only ever use them on relic, architect and morality enchants. They will lock the enchant in place for the next 5 missions, so they won't be exchanged on the next activation of that color. While you are at your base, you can find your enchants here, and you can also see for how many missions they are still locked. The important thing to note, this item can be used while you are at the base, and they can also be used during missions. So if you saw a good enchant popping up, you can go at a safe place in your mission and use the clamp. That way you don't run the risk in getting it replaced if you wait until you are back at your base. This way you can get up to 3 free enchants. So you can imagine that there can be a lot of new builds made around that. And you can get combinations that you could never use before. For example, the morality enchant can be both radical or Puritan. So now you can play with one radical enchant as a Puritan Inquisitor, or you can play with a Puritan enchant as a radical Inquisitor. Those clamps can drop from the new chests you can find throughout the missions. And those chests and new enemies also drop a new currency. This currency you can use to buy one clamp of each color at the store. And you can also buy escalation stashes. They have some very rare and seasonal items in them. You always want to kill the new Harbinger enemies. They don't only drop the new currency, but they also give you points towards the escalation peak, which is this green bar. When it's full, it will spawn a seasonal mission. In those missions you get 2 guaranteed escalation chests and they have a 15% chance to spawn a boss, which you need for the seasonal journey. But I have to warn you, those new enemies are really tough. They hit much harder and have much more health and defenses than normal elite enemies. They also each have a unique aura, which you can check out here. Also, every shrine has a 35% chance to be converted into a seasonal shrine. They have new effects, like those. Now let's have a quick look at the seasonal items. I have to be honest here, at the first glance I was really disappointed. Before we got new enchants every season. But this time, as you can see, it's all enchants we already have in the game. But after playing and seeing the enchants for myself, I was really surprised and it changed my opinion. Those enchants aren't new, but they are new on the items which they can roll on. That means it gives us some incredible combos which we couldn't have before. And the big difference this season is that we have preset primary and secondary enchants on those items. But you can still reroll them. Now you can have the amazing Enrich token on crit enchant on your eye implant and your main implant. Or you can also have on those implants the less damage dealt per debuff enchant, which you could only get on weapons before. They also roll with life drain. This means finally you have access to life drain in a ranged build. Also we get those enchants on our armor, which we only got before on our weapons. We also get new shards that evolve around class resources. They could be very interesting for an embodied saint form build, but I didn't get any as drops. The only ones I got were from the seasonal journey rewards. Lastly, there is an ultra rare portrait frame that can drop. It has a 1 in 1000 chance to drop from champion or stronger enemies. It looks like this in-game. I think this season is really cool. The changing enchants were a great idea and can really change your playstyle. Or at least they can make your existing builds much stronger. The enchants, while not new, are a great addition to the game. And I really recommend that you farm out some of the Enrich token on crit and damage reduction per debuff items, especially because of the life drain. I think one of my next videos will be around the seasonal journey, where I can teach you some of the knowledge I've learned by grinding really hard this season, so you will have an easier time to finish all the objectives. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to support the channel, check out the link down below.